Product testing now. Me, TP for my low temp. Hello everyone, welcome to the T-shirt transfer paper power half hour brought to you by Condé Systems. I'm your host Doug DeWitt. We are doing some product testing today with the FOREVER LowTemp Laser Dark. I got the idea from Christopher Sigmund, who sent me a photo of a company called Print Equipment Deutschland. Basically what they did was they were able to take a FOREVER transfer and transfer it onto the most precious commodity in the pandemic universe, that being toilet paper. The T-shirt transfer paper. So what we're going to do today, ladies and gentlemen, is we are going to try to replicate that feat and see if we can actually apply FOREVER paper products onto toilet paper. Why would we do that? That's insane. But you know what? That's just how we roll here at the T-shirt transfer paper power half hour. So seeing how we're devoting an entire show to it, let me just quickly review the setup that we have. Now, first off, I've got my FOREVER LowTemp transfers that I have already pre-weeded. Now, the printer that I used was my Oki 8432 WT. So I went ahead and did some transfers in some process colors and also did some transfers in black using process black, because not only are we going to attempt to try to apply the low temp, but we're also going to see if we can foil. Now, my test subjects, my roll of transfer or toilet papers here. I got this roll here, which is commercial grade that I stole from the supply closet earlier today, you know, because hey, when you're doing some product testing, you just grab what you can. Also brought the good stuff from home. This is Angel Soft. This is my go-to, my personal choice, but I haven't tried this yet. I've been playing around with the palm here. So got my rolls of toilet paper, got my transfers, got my scissors so I could cut out my transfers. I got a small piece of metal here, and we're going to use the metal to rapidly cool the transfers in the process. I've got some rolls of our new hot stamp foil. So we're going to try some carbon red. We're going to try some bubble silver. We're going to try some confetti orange here. And when we go to the heat press, I've got the heat press set for about 225 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if you refer to the updated instructions for FOREVER LowTemp Laser Dark, when it comes to paper products, the temperature can range between 210 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on the style of paper product that you're looking to imprint. But the one thing that is common is that they only want a 15-second dwell time and they want a very light pressure. On my George Knight DK20S, this would be having the pressure registering between 0 and 2 bars. So how do we achieve that? Well, the best thing to do is when you swing your press over and you attempt to lock it down, that there is a little bit of stall before that handle snaps shut, where basically you could just take a finger and press it down and lock it in. And it looks like I'm on 1 bar pressure here, so that should be good. Of course, I've got my cover sheets because, hey, safety first, right? But another thing that I've done is I've taken a 16-inch by 20-inch piece of aluminum and just laid it over my bottom platen. And the reason is I want a platen as smooth and as flat as I can get it, because we don't necessarily want to crush our TP. The real trick is going to be the pressure. Getting enough pressure to get the adhesive to adhere to the paper, so where when we separate it, it's not taking off our 2-ply or 3-ply TP, because, you know, that would be tragic. But since we've got everything that we've gone through here, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do a test run here. Now, I'm going to lay down my sheet of protective paper. And I am going to give the metal on my platen a preheat. Let's take our roll of toilet paper. There we go. Let's go ahead and separate it out. Yeah, obviously you can tell this stuff came from the supply closet. Thank goodness it's not a lint roll. Okay, so now I've got some clean squares here. Let me go ahead and get some transfers cut. These are some transfers that I made earlier today with my Oki Pro 8432 WT. I basically created a little graphic here. It says War Eagle in orange and blue. Little backstory to this, I got my degree from Auburn University here in Alabama, and War Eagle is a battle cry that we use. Now, when it comes to graduates of Auburn University, one of the traditions is rolling the oak trees at Toomer's Corner after a big win. So needless to say, when it comes to toilet paper, we're pretty much experts on the deal. So let's see if we can make a custom roll of toilet paper that maybe we can fling into the oak trees during our next home win. Okay, so got some sample transfers cutting here. You'll notice that I'm trimming some of the edges just to make sure I don't have any residual emulsion left on them, but those look pretty good there. So let's go ahead and unwind our roll. And I'm going to lay it out on the bottom platen here. And I'm going to take another piece of protective paper and I'm going to pre-press the squares. Okay, like I said, basically what I'm trying to do is just get the squares as flat as I can get them. Okay. So now let me go ahead and take my printed weeded transfers and I'm going to start placing them. Okay. Get them lined up a little better. But then again, this is just for demonstration purposes only, right? We're going to cover it with our protective sheet. Swing our press over 225 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds with a light pressure. Like I said, if you have a George Knight DK20S where you can measure the pressure, when you drop the handle, you want the pressure bar to register somewhere between 0 and 2. So let's bring it down gently. We'll give it a hit for 15 seconds here, and then after that, we're going to pull it off and we're going to let all of our sheets cool down. Remove the protective paper. Grab the roll. Okay. And so now, like I said, I just want to let these cool down. One thing we can do to help speed up the cooling process, piece of aluminum. I'm just going to lay that over, let it cool. And while that is cooling, we can go ahead and start working on my next project, which is not only applying low temp, but we're going to foil over the top. Let's make some holiday toilet paper, shall we? Okay. I think it calls for the good stuff, so I'm going to take the good stuff, the Angel Soft, see if I can separate this a little better than the other brand. Look at that. That's just quality right there, ladies and gentlemen.
It's money.
So money. Thank you, Sprite. So just like last time, I'm going to lay it down on the platen. I'm going to go ahead and cut a strip of my preprints. Again, I'm going to snip that little bit of emulsion edging. Because we want to make sure that we are working with a clean transfer, so to speak. If we have any residue or excess emulsion on these sheets and we try to stick it to the toilet paper, it's going to cling so hard, we're never going to get it off without ruining the product. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our pre-press. Lay my protective sheet over, and when I'm referring to protective sheet, I'm talking about sheets of butcher paper, okay? I'm not talking about finishing sheets, like a matte finishing sheet or a gloss finishing sheet, but we'll give that a whirl a little later. So this is just butcher paper that I'm using as protective sheeting, and the reason I'm doing that is because it's probably a very dirty press, and we want to keep our TP as clean as possible till we need it. Okay, so let's go ahead and pre-press for about 5 seconds. Like I said, nothing major. We just want to smooth out our surface area for decoration. I want to go ahead and place my graphics on my squares, like so. Cover with our butcher paper, our protective paper. And same drill as before, 225 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds with a very light pressure. Light enough that we can close with a couple of fingers. Make sure those are cooling down. Timer means we're done. So let's remove our protective sheet. Take our roll. And now we're going to let this roll start to cool. Tell you what, I'm going to slide this down a little. So hopefully we can get this all in frame, because we're going to attempt to peel away the color low temp transfers that we did here. Okay. Now, when I was practicing this earlier, it gets a little tricky. But what we want to do is we want to basically find an edge where we are releasing the graphic, and then at that point, we want to roll. Keep the roll tight. Oh. We see, that's just an inferior TP there, but as far as the technique is concerned, I think the technique was pretty good at removing the film. Let's try it again. And I was talking about if you had any residual emulsion, it would look like little white snowy dots around the design. If you try to do that and decorate something like paper, it's going to be hard to do. You see, the reason the paper is ripping Sprite is because the edge is actually catching into the first ply.
That's that high quality toilet paper there.
Well, you know, here at Condé we spare no expense. No. So but look at it. It's even got a gloss finish. How about that? Okay. I think we got one more here. Let's see if I go from the bottom up, if that would make a difference. The trick is not to lift up, but we want to roll. You got a good shot of that on camera, Sprite?
Pretty good.
All right, so basically here we have our decorated TP. It does have a gloss finish to it, which is the natural state of the FOREVER LowTemp Laser Dark. But it did adhere. And like I said, except for the little rips in the toilet paper, which was my bad, just the hard edge of the film itself, other than that, it seems to work. Let's give it a matte finish. Yeah, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the roll, put it back on my press, going to take a silicone sheet, which will give it a matte finish. Another protective sheet. And we're going to press same temperature, same time, same pressure. 225 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 seconds, very light pressure. When the timer goes off, we'll lift, remove the silicone sheet. Very carefully. It's got a matte finish. Let me lay it out here so everyone can see. And there we go. Matte finish, decorated Auburn Tiger TP, ready for tumors. Now, let's see if we can put it back on the roll. And put it back in the closet, and maybe no one will notice. I know what I can do. Dytrans Pro Spray. Look at that. Decorated TP for football season. That's what I'm talking about. So, done with FOREVER LowTemp Laser Dark. Now, we have our FOREVER LowTemp Laser Dark here on this roll, but you'll notice that we printed our image in process black. And that's because after we remove the film, we're going to attempt to place some foil over the top and see if we can get the foil to stick to the low temp transfer. Now, doing this for a t-shirt's piece of cake. Doing it for a roll of toilet paper? Well, let's find out. Okay, so let me try to remove the film again. This time being mindful of that hard edge cutting into my ply. Okay, so there's the first one off. And as I get the second one, be very careful to roll. We're going to take our time. Now, when I was printing these designs, I went ahead and turned my white toner off because I figure, you know, TP being white, I'll just let the white of the TP substitute for where I have white in the design. When I ran the design through my cost calculator on the transfer rip for the War Eagle graphic, between the cost of the transfer, which is $2 per transfer retail, and the cost of the toner that I used, which was about 20 cents in toner, came to an overall cost of $2.20. but I was able to get 9 graphics on a sheet. So when you take that 220 and divide by 9, comes out to about 25 cents a transfer. And of course, what I'm thinking is you only need to decorate just a few panels, wrap it back around, and come up with your custom decorated holiday roll. Okay, so let's put some low temp on this. Since this is a happy holidays, we need something holiday themed. I'm going to use some of this red carbon hot stamp foil from Forever. I'm just going to go ahead and cut a little strip of it down. Okay. And let's get some bubble silver, because nothing says Christmas like carbon and bubbles. Okay. Just as a note, whenever you're cutting hot stamp foil with scissors, much easier to work with a nice sharp pair. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and cut a swatch of bubble. And I'm going to cut a couple of swatches of this red, because me personally, I dig this carbon red. I think it looks really cool. Okay, so now let's go back to the press and let's start reassembling everything. I want to walk through the procedure again real quick. I'm going to keep the bottom aluminum warm by dropping the press on it. We're at 225 degrees. It shouldn't get too terribly hot, but it's going to help with the adhesion process. Okay, I want to grab my roll of toilet paper. Okay. Lay it out flat here. And I think what I'm going to do, Sprite, is I want to put my non-stick silicone sheet over and give it a quick pre-press with the silicone sheet again, because we don't want to stick it, but we want the paper to lay out flat. Now, let's take our swatches of hot stamp foil. Now, if we do this correctly, the hot stamp foil should stick to the low temp graphic, but not to the paper. But we're going to have to go at a higher pressure to get the hot stamp foil to stick. So what we're going to do, let's make sure to protect it with our silicone sheet. I'm going to lay the silicone sheet over. I'm going to get another sheet of protective paper over the top of this. Swing my press over. Now here's the trick to get the hot stamp foil to stick. That light pressure setting that I had, I want to mark my finger where it is so I can go 1 revolution turn tighter. Okay, so 1 revolution turn heavier on the pressure, so that when we come down, we apply enough pressure for that hot stamp foil to stick to the emulsion and toner layer we laid down with the low temp. Again, we're going to bring the press down easy, but it is going to be a much higher pressure setting. So when we lift the press, because we're dealing with paper products, we want to lift the press slow. If we rip that press up, it might create a vacuum effect, which rips the paper or messes up the design. So low, slow lift. Let's remove our protective sheet, our silicone sheet. Let's pick up our roll, lay it down.
This is so exciting.
And then we're going to use our little piece of metal here to cool it down. Now, while we're waiting for this to cool, a couple of things that we could talk about. First, if you've been paying attention to the graphic, you may have seen a coupon code off to the side, CPN-giving, right, Sprite?
Correct.
Okay. Basically, that is our current coupon for products. What's the deal with that, Sprite? They order how much, they get how much off?
For every order of $200, you get $25 off. Used every single day. Can be used every single day.
So yeah, you can place individual orders every day, take advantage of that coupon. So we've got that going for our November promotion. It's a real nice promotion. There are also some things that we're working on in this promotion where we're going to be giving back to our local community. So Sprite will probably give you more details about that when her show rolls, but just trying to do some good things here at Condé, you know, like decorating toilet paper because, you know, why? Because we can. But whenever we're doing some product testing here, you always got to push it to extremes in some cases. And the way I look at this is if we can get FOREVER LowTemp and hot stamp foil to stick onto toilet paper, well then imagine the things that you can try with this product. So as far as this product is concerned, if you want to use it with hot stamping foil, you don't necessarily need to have a white toner printer. You could use a standard 4-color process because you're using composite black as the target, so to speak. So lots of uses for FOREVER LowTemp Laser Dark. Primarily speaking, it goes on to 100% cotton poly blends, 100% polyester. It can go on to nylon, it can go on to polypropylene, it can go on to leather, it can go on to wood products. There is a new variable of this product that is called using it with a B-sheet light, which is a thinner emulsion layer to be able to self-weed designs and go against hard substrates like ceramics, metals, plastics, things of that nature. You can apply this stuff to other paper products. And of course, the most extreme thing that I can think of is toilet paper. So lots of props to our colleagues over in Germany for providing the photo of this, because when I saw it, I looked at Sprite and I was like, yeah, challenge accepted for sure. Okay, so hopefully we have this cooled down enough. All right, Sprite, you got the camera on. We ready to do the big reveal?
I'm nervous.
Hey, I am too, to be honest with you, but let's go with the one in the middle. See how that one turned out. It's in bubble silver. Okay. Let's try our carbon red. Oh, that's wicked. It's like a red and black checkerboard pattern almost. That is pretty slick. Dun 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 dun.
Oh my gosh, it's like everybody's getting toilet paper for Christmas.
I know, and during these times, I mean, isn't that the gift of giving, of caring? It's like, hey, no money's tight and times are hard. Here's some toilet paper, so you don't have to go in the yard. Okay, let's roll it up. And again, Dytrans Pro Spray. Need to find someone with smaller hands to wind it up.
Show this camera over here.
That's the sound of money.
Show this camera here.
So there you go. Our episode of decorating toilet paper with Forever Low Temp Laser Dark. Again, an extreme product test, so to speak, but just goes to show you the capabilities of using this product. It even works with the hot stamp foil. This is pretty cool. We're probably going to have to try some more extreme product tests down the road. I'll think of some ideas for our next episode. If you have any questions about what we covered today, there's the email address down in the corner of the screen, TTPPHH@Condé.com. Shoot us a question, let us know what you think. Any ideas that you want to see for future videos, let us know. We'll try to come up with whatever we can. Personally, I thought this was a pretty cool experiment. I don't know necessarily if I would use it myself, but as far as a decorative role is concerned, I think it's pretty cool. Let us know what you think. Make sure to tune in next time for more fun here at the T-Shirt Transfer Paper Power Half Hour, sponsored by Condé Systems. Until next time, I'm